Bonjour à tous et à toutes, je suis Tenko et je suis ici pour vous présenter l'épisode 13 du walkthrough de Retour vers le futur.
Pardon me, sir. From the way you're dressed and your general aura of seediness, I can infer only one thing. You're heading for Tannen's speakeasy. Am I right?
On va dire oui.
Yeah. Can't you tell me the way?
Down. Straight down. The last stop before the inferno.
Elle aime pas trop. Hein.
Unfortunately, I don't have the power to stop you, but I beg you to tarry here a few more seconds and listen to my song. Me, 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 me.
Ah mon dieu, écoutez-moi ça.
You say you've lost your self-respect, but you should care. What in heaven's name?
Oh, sorry, Miss Strickland. Just a little experimental prototype gone momentarily awry.
Mr. Brown, why is there a dog in that vehicle?
Why? Well, to advance the human condition, of course. Hello, Sonny.
Sonny? Mr. Crockett, what are you doing in that getup?
Je voyage incognito.
I'm going undercover.
How exciting! You'll have to give me an exclusive sometime. Right now, I've got some souls to save.
And you'll have to get an eyeful of my newest experiment.
You're not angry about the rocket drill?
Water over the bridge. I've moved on to bigger and better things. Come by the gazebo when you get a chance. I'll be setting up. You won't believe what Einie and I have been up to.
Famous last words. All right. Now where's that speakeasy?
Voilà. Bon, déjà.
Sonny, you're just in time.
Désolé pour Einstein.
So, thanks for watching Einstein while I've been away.
It's been a pleasure. He's proven to be a surprisingly willing test subject. It's almost as if he's been working with me for years.
More like decades.
Comment ça va?
How have you been, Emmett? I know I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
I'm great, and I owe it all to you.
Really?
Yes, that argument I had with my father during our jet drill experiment gave me the incentive to finally quit that dreary court job. I've committed myself full-time to a life of science.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
What's the story with the little car and all this equipment?
Einstein and I are conducting a few experiments with this 1/4 scale model to work out a few hitches in my planned demonstration at the Hill Valley Expo in a couple of months.
A radio-controlled car?
No. Well, yes, but there'll be so much more than that. It will amaze the world. Aha! Got it!
Got what?
I'll show you. Ready to go, Einstein? Watch this! When this baby hits 23 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious cow flop.
Einstein!
No!
Get him out of there!
Not to worry. I've got a fail-safe eject mechanism around here someplace. See? Nothing to worry about.
Nothing. I'll go see if I can find something to help. Or someone. Don't worry, Emmett. I'm sure you'll get it right someday.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Right now, I'm more concerned with Einstein.
Il faut sauver Einstein.
Can't you just go into the courthouse to get Einstein?
If I still had my job as a clerk, sure, but lately a lot of evidence has gone missing, so they've installed new locks. Now the place is sealed up tighter than my dad's wallet.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
What went wrong with your rocket car?
I'm not entirely sure. As soon as we get Einstein down, I'm gonna go look for it.
Edna.
What's up with you and Edna? A couple months ago, I could swear she was making goo-goo eyes at you.
That was before my father had her Stay Sober Society meeting thrown out of our house. Now she takes every opportunity she can get to snipe at me and my work. It's very distracting.
Parker.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
My pop says he's a good cop when he's not drinking.
Good.
Of course, now I hear he drinks all the time.
Trixie.
You know anything about Trixie Trotter?
The songbird of the Sierras? The nightingale of the north? The floozy of the foothills? Never heard of her. Man, I've definitely never snuck into Tannen's speakeasy to listen to her.
Bon, déjà on sait qu'il ment, hein. Il est pas doué pour mentir, le Emmett. Et
Well, I'll go off and see if I can get some help.
manifestement, c'est un fan
You
de
do that.
Trixie.
I'll stay here and see if I can think of a way to get Einie off that ledge.
Bon, on va bouger un peu, on va aller parler un peu à Edna. Hein. Je suis désolé, il y a pas mal de dialogues pour le moment, mais bon, ils sont assez importants pour faire avancer la trame.
Hey, Edna.
Mr. Crockett, what can I do for you?
Ah, vous avez vu, il y a eu une petite erreur dans les sous-titres, il y avait marqué Monsieur Cal a un autre surnom qu'on pouvait choisir au début du voyage dans le temps. Enfin, du voyage en 1931 du moins.
What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
Saving people from alcohol, vice, and disorder. And also keeping a lookout for hot stories. You'd be surprised how much news breaks on this corner.
Broken any stories tonight?
Only the usual. Mayor Thomas trying to slink out of the speakeasy. Frankie Needles crashing his car into a
Needles.
fire hydrant. Nothing that'll get me the front page.
Et Needles qui écrase sa voiture comme par hasard. Hein. Petite référence au film encore une fois. Jolie chanson.
What was that song you were singing earlier?
Do you like it? I wrote it myself. It really gets the toes tapping at the Stay Sober Society meetings. Although I suppose that could be the shakes. Would you like to hear it again?
Allez, on va vous faire subir ça.
Sure.
I knew if I waited long enough, somebody would request it. You say you've lost your self-respect, but you should care. It's not too late to redirect and start to care. Don't despise the good and pure. Time to rise up from the sewer. Wash off all that foul manure. Show the world you care. You should care. You should care what people think of you. Of goals that you could name, reclaiming your good name is what you ought to do. You should care. You should care. If your reputation is in disrepair, it's not going to hurt you to reclaim your virtue, for you should care.
Catchy.
You really think so?
Yeah, it's, got a good hook to it.
One needs a good hook if one is fishing for souls.
C'est ignoble. Elle a une voix horrible pour chanter. Qu'y a-t-il entre Emmett et vous?
What's going on with you and Emmett? The last time I saw you, you seemed to be kinda interested in him.
That was before I belatedly realized that his agreement to host my Stay Sober Society was a clever ruse to ferry barrels of hooch to his so-called laboratory.
Sorry about that.
Now his very presence fills me with an irrepressible urge to pick at his philosophical and intellectual foundations with every tool in my vocabulary.
So you're not dating?
Dating? The mere thought of romantic involvement with that undisciplined techno-anarchist is preposterous.
Good.
J'aimerais en savoir plus sur Tannen.
What's Kid Tannen been up to for the last 2 months?
Didn't you hear? It was in all the papers.
I've been, traveling.
Well, the feds were all set to arrest Tannen on tax evasion charges. Seems they'd gotten Tannen's books from his accountant.
I heard something about that, yeah.
Well, the accountant disappeared, unsurprisingly, but the feds still thought they had a case. After all, they still had the books, right?
Right.
Wrong. The day before the trial, the books up and vanished right out of the court's evidence locker.
No.
Lots of fingers were pointed, but honestly, the whole town's so corrupt that it could have been anyone. Court clerks, cops, janitors.
Alors, j'aimerais en savoir plus sur Parker.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
Parker? Just another soul lost to the twin vices of booze and despair. I've asked him to tell me his story for my column. Sort of a cautionary tale, but he's never in the mood to talk to me.
À propos de l'incendiaire du bar Clandestin.
Whatever happened with that speakeasy arsonist?
I was about to ask you the same question.
Me?
Don't play coy with me. I may not have any journalistically acceptable proof, but I know you had a hand in Carl Sagan's daring escape from the authorities.
Sagan est innocent.
Didn't you think that Sagan was innocent?
I used to, but after he escaped, 2 more speakeasies were torched in Colfax and Georgetown.
Oh.
Coincidence? Or is our friend Carl a serial arsonist?
I'm pretty sure that Carl Sagan didn't start those fires.
We'll see. One of the reasons I'm camped out so close to Tannen's new speakeasy is it gives me the chance to catch the arsonist in the act. It'd make a great story for my column.
À propos de vous et des chiens.
What have you got against dogs, anyway?
They're smelly, rude, completely unable to take care of themselves, and frankly, they're not very bright. If I had my druthers, dogs would be banned from public places.
Harsh.
It's a harsh world, Mr. Crockett.
Bon, dans l'ensemble, là, je vous montre un petit peu les dialogues pour vous donner une idée un peu plus des caractères, du caractère des personnages, enfin, plus en profondeur du moins. Mais ce sera pas toujours comme ça, hein, je vous rassure. Hein, c'est vraiment pour vous aider. Il y a un truc que je dois dire pour faire avancer les choses, donc quoique je sais même plus si ça fait avancer les choses. Ah non, oui, c'est pas maintenant.
See ya.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Oui, d'abord, faut que je fasse autre chose. Donc il faudra que je retourne parler à Edna après, mais d'abord... Hop, je passe par ici. Mince. Il faut que j'aille voir Doc, le vieux Doc.
Hey, Doc. How's the room?
It's a little cleaner than I would have imagined for a Depression-era flophouse. How are your investigations going?
À propos de Trixie...
I haven't really made any progress with Trixie yet.
Well, get out there and make some. If she doesn't blow the whistle on Kid tonight, he may never be brought to justice.
Vous êtes dans le parc?
Why didn't you tell me I'd run into your younger self tonight?
Because I don't remember being out here tonight. Clearly, your interactions with my younger self 2 months ago have slightly altered my personal timeline. I never have the nerve to perform public experiments like he's doing. No matter. Those experiments will be forgotten once I've seen Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Yes. Right now, my younger self is fiddling around down there with rocket propulsion systems for his demonstration at the expo.
The thing that'll kick off your scientific career.
Exactly. Now, the rockets are a horrible idea, and I'll soon realize that they'll never work. But eventually, I'll wander into that movie theater and see Frankenstein and clear my mind. I've kept the ticket stub from that movie in my wallet ever since. See?
Why?
Because it's during this movie that I'll have the inspiration for my breakthrough at the expo.
It doesn't have anything to do with reanimating the dead, does it?
Not the way you're thinking, no. But during that famous scene when Colin Clive turned the wheel that raised that shrouded figure into the tower, and that bolt of lightning struck, well, let's just say more than one brain was reanimated that night.
Où est la DeLorean?
Where'd you park the DeLorean?
I hid it in the DeSoto lot. Nobody's buying cars these days, so it should be safe in there.
À propos de cet incendiaire du bar clandestin.
Hey, who did burn down Tannen's original speakeasy anyway?
I still don't know. I'd really like to find out before we go home.
Pourquoi 1931?
I never did get a straight answer about why he came back to 1931 in the first place.
It's, personal. When this is over, I'll tell you all about it.
I'm gonna hold you to that, you know.
Je vous remercie d'avoir regardé cette vidéo et à bientôt pour la suite du walkthrough de Retour vers le futur.